Have you seen my Moby Dick? It is a great white whale, indeed.
Welcome to the KJ&A podcast. My name's Kevin. I'm the K.
I am Jason. I am that J. What up?
And together this is the KJ&A podcast.
It's too bad. Once again, just like episode 1, I'm going to be like, it's too bad A can't be here with us.
He's with us in spirit.
I know.
Just remember.
I know.
He's always here with us in spirit.
One of these days we'll have special guests and we'll be like,
Special guest. Who the fuck are you?
Here's the A. Here's the A for you guys.
My name is Tom.
Oh, no, not
Shut up, Tom.
Shut your fucking mouth, Carl.
You're the A. That's what you are today.
You are our daily dose of A. How you doing?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because
At first I was like, and then I thought, I wouldn't mind a daily dose of A.
Depends on what that A is. That's exactly what my brain was like. Ew.
Man, that really took a sexual turn, and we're barely even a minute in.
Yeah. But you know what? If we didn't have that little bit of I don't know, weirdness, it wouldn't be us.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But anyone tuning in, this is episode 9.
We've actually made it to 9 episodes.
We've made it to 9 episodes, and for this episode, we watched Redline.
Yeah, my sister decided the last time I visited to be like, hey, you guys should review this one because...
That's where the idea came from?
Yeah.
Your sister?
Yeah.
You never freaking told me about this.
Yeah, just kind of like...
Here. Yeah, you're like, hey, let's do Redline. I'm like, all right.
I went very Little Nicky. Here's the good.
Ooh, the good.
That's right. Yeah, you can't see us doing.
Yeah, you can't see the
movements.
hands, but very Adam Sandler.
If you haven't seen Little Nicky, you should watch that too. But right now we're talking about.
Don't do that.
No, yeah, you should. It's hilarious. Tiny is in it before he passed. Reese Efrans, who played the Lizard in Spider-Man, is one of his brothers as well. Yeah. What? Yeah. What? I know. So off.
I just don't even.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
What? You didn't see the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone?
Actually, you know what? I'm really embarrassed to say I have not watched any of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans.
Oh my God!
It's one of those I've always meant to, but I just never did.
He actually recently. It's coming to the news that he might be coming back for more Marvel, like Marvel specific.
I mean, they pretty much have free reign to do whatever the fuck they want now.
Yeah, since
multiverse.
Yeah, since
done, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Incursions are supposed to be a big thing now. Since they talked
about well, this isn't a Marvel fucking podcast. These fucking things, we could go on to Marvel for fucking ever.
Guess what? Maybe that'll be a separate podcast that we put out on the Patreon.
I'll tell you what. What do you think? You just send us an email, send us a message, let us know what you think.
Yeah, where are the emails? I'm waiting. I want to read some emails.
You would. We're gonna.
I love emails.
I'm just kidding. I would love to read.
I'm also sitting here on TikTok like, did you like my comment? I'm gonna like your comment. Yes, I'm not a troll, but I love to just.
All right, so
anyway,
give me some background on Redline.
All right, Redline. Redline. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Redline?
Redline?
Redline.
All right, fancy. I had to look at his computer. See what the fuck he was talking about.
IMDb scored it 7.5 out of 10. My Anime List 8.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 70%, and Google users 86%. So it's got a good score out there in the webosphere. As far as some of our great voice acting, runtime is about hour 42 minutes. To me, I think it ran a little long. In certain areas.
I felt like if anything, it was the middle that was slow as shit.
Yeah, I can concur with that.
Yeah, I feel like the middle was slow. But I mean, all in all, honestly, I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, the art style. If you don't notice, or if you haven't seen it
No
yet,
such thing as shadows. It's all black in color.
it's kind of dark. It's a dark color, but this was by one of the groups that worked on the Animatrix.
Okay.
So
Oh, I did not know that.
So you'll notice the distinct animation style for one of these shorts.
Now, I don't know what it is about specific one. Like, maybe it's what I immediately equated to. Because we were talking about a few episodes ago, we were talking about from The Boy and the Beast when it looked like they were animating over people. And that art style, and then this art style where it's the very sharp lines.
Oh, yeah.
I think that the movie, I don't know if any of you have seen it, but Heavy Metal, the original Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I watched it too
amazing.
young because I feel like so many movies, if I equate it to that, it kind of like goes into my brain because I think I watched that movie when I was way too young and it scarred me. Maybe.
Not going to lie. I think the same thing happened to me.
Because I see things and if they remind me of that, I'm immediately like, I can't even explain it. I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. And that's what I got from the very beginning of this one with the art style. Rotoscoping. When they do rotoscoping. When they, yeah, when they animate over the bodies. It's when they do rotoscoping, that makes me think of Heavy Metal as well because I know they did a lot of that in that movie.
That movie was...
And if you watch that young, it will fuck you.
It's not one of those films that you can just be like, I'm coming into it and it's cohesive and it's just straight. No, this movie, well, that movie just jumped through so much time.
But you know what? It sort of felt like it told a story regardless.
I mean, that's the same way that the Animatrix felt. They did a bunch of different stories, but everything seemed cohesive. The other one that kind of got me, which is also, I guess, an anthology of different shorts, was the Halo Legends.
I never caught that one, so I can't say.
The very first short on that is literally a story of the Forerunners leading into humans and eventually to the Flood. So it's cohesive, has I guess a milder.
Okay. We might have to cut the shit out because there's a lot of shit not talking about fucking Redline.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so much because it all kind of relates to this animation style and the kind of anthology-wise. You have to think they have so many characters in this movie. Because there's racing teams, there's the mechanics, there's JP's story, there's Sonashi's story.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I watched this, after watching it, I think, like, the art style, I enjoyed it. But I feel like a lot of the animation was extremely over-exaggerated. Not in totally a bad way, because it's a style.
And for this movie, it really worked.
Yes, it worked. But on top of that, what they had besides the art style being over-exaggerated was the voice acting. The voice acting was really, really good, but it was so over-exaggerated so often. Like, anytime you saw an alien that was not a main character, they were doing something over the top and goddamn ridiculous.
Okay, so since there's so many characters, it's hard to pick out.
You don't have
people.
to just give me Sonashi, give me Sweet JP, give me Frisbee,
okay,
and give me the fucking mechanic, because those are the main characters. There's like a shitload of racers in addition to them, but they were kind of side story in comparison to these main characters.
All right, so Joshua JP Punkhead.
Wait, his last name was Punkhead?
Punkhead.
I don't think that was ever mentioned in that entire... Oh, you know what? They probably listed it when they showed his rap sheet, and I didn't pay attention to that.
So, JP, Sweet JP, was Patrick Sates. I do not have background. I'm sorry.
All right.
I took,
Fair enough.
I was just like, I'm going to watch this movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sonashi. Michelle Ruff. Now, Michelle Ruff, I do know because she was the voice of Rukia Kuchiki in Bleach, and she's been in so many different other projects. She's a big name, and I know Patrick Sates is as well.
Okay.
Frisbee is Liam O'Brien.
Okay. I'm surprised of that because I know Liam O'Brien because he's from Critical Role.
Hey.
I know that name.
Say like a Joe.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Now I want to listen back and watch it again just so I can be like, can I catch that it's him?
Now you want
I'm such a nerd.
Old Man Mole.
Old Man Mole?
That was his...
That was his name, the four-armed mechanic?
Steve Kramer.
Okay, see, I tried to find his name, Old Man Mole. I guess that's just what they called him because he didn't actually
I mean,
have a name.
literally, they called him Old Man the entire time, minus the mole.
Yeah.
It's just old. I mean, he had 6 arms. Well,
yeah, he had 4 arms. I always want to see 6 arms, too.
Because, I mean, he walked on all of them.
Yes.
So it was like, dude, you have...
free
range of your
The
appendages.
dude has a massive brain because he's able to control each of his hands individually.
Anybody who has
do
an
different things.
extra appendages outside of arms and legs.
Yeah, they have to have some sort of massive fucking brain to control all of them individually.
Or apparently the current and constant winner of the Redline race, Machine Head.
Oh, Machine Head, yeah.
Motherfucking Machine Head! Michael McConaughey.
Really?
Michael McConaughey.
Wasn't
Not
he
McConaughey.
in one of the other ones that we did? Because I remember having this discussion of not McConaughey. It was McConaughey.
Pretty
Didn't
sure.
we have... Yeah, we discussed
Yeah, we're gonna have to look
him
back.
being in another one.
I was just like Christina V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that too. But
E-Tranger.
E-Tranger. God damn it. Why do we always bring that god-awful place up?
Because it was god-awful.
But this one, Redline, it was about racing for no reason.
Just like any race, it's just like it's a racing competition. So it's just like Formula One or NASCAR.
But they like randomly decided where the next place would be, and like even if the planet didn't agree with it.
Well, no, yeah, okay.
But also, it seemed like through watching the show that Redline wasn't just a race. Redline, it seemed like, was also not a community, but I would say a faction of that goes in between, because they were always like, oh, they support Redline. Oh, they back up Redline. Robo World was talking about, oh, I'm against Redline. Oh, they support Redline, so I'm not going to be for them, and they know that, and so they can't see my military secrets. But you're
well, you have to look at it from that perspective of Robo World having all these military secrets, and then that means all these cameras are coming into their airspace and violating their airspace to get all this footage for the race to go out and send it across the galaxy.
But obviously Redline doesn't ask Robo World, hey, can I race here? Because they made them go straight through a secret military facility. And they're like, oh, the race goes through, God, I can't even remember what they fucking called it, but it was just Military Base 37 or some shit.
7X.
Yeah, Military Base 7X, and they're like, if they go to there and they have their cameras there, they're gonna see our secret
Funky Boy.
Yeah, Funky Boy. God damn it. No, but you know what? They had a lot going on, but I feel like at the end of the movie, I knew everything I needed to know.
Yeah.
All the questions I had were answered. Because really it was about the race, but there were a few side questions that kind of made it feel like a whole.
Right.
Like the whole movie was an eye, in that it started at the edge of the eye, and then it opened up in the middle, and it got very wide, and then it got pointed at the end because all the questions were answered.
Yeah, that ending.
Thanks for my analogy.
I feel like their ending was way too abrupt.
Okay, their ending was extremely abrupt, and I feel like it was also in a dream because they died. They fucking died.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing, ain't no way in hell your car breaks apart.
But you're fine.
No. Breaks apart from, like, the outer hull of the car comes off, and it looks like a fucking 3-wheeled bike.
Motorcycle.
And then, after doing some more nitrous, when that bitch explodes, then you and your co-pilot of this car are now just sprinting
Next to
a guy in basically a fucking rocket ship at this point.
Yeah,
It went
because
from
they
being a
all just
huge
like
car
kept
to a-
fucking transforming.
Like, no.
No.
I love you, kiss, and
And yeah, the end. And it said
no
love. Boop.
no prize,
No.
nothing.
No. You know why? It went because they fucking died. That's why. That's why we can't make a series, because Sweet JP and Sonashi died. That's it. They're floating in space with the blue fire all around them. Turns out they actually died 5 miles ago. That's why.
The steam light.
The steam light, yes. Because I remember at the very beginning
whole
of
steam
this
light thing.
movie, he meets Sonashi in the restaurant, and she shows her necklace, and he's like, "Oh, is that a storm light? I've never seen one." She's like, "Yeah, it's 100 times more powerful than blah blah blah." And I remember watching that part and going, "Foreshadowing."
It's gonna be important near.
It's going to be important later. That's foreshadowing.
Terrible.
But the whole movie started with them in the yellow line race,
Yeah,
and
so
Sonashi
there's-
won.
Yeah, so it's apparently there's different races. So you have the blue line, you have the yellow line, and red line is the composite of all those people.
Who won the yellow lines, the blue lines.
Right.
Or it was like blue lines go to yellow lines, and then yellow lines go to red lines. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They never really got too specific in that, but you didn't really need to get specific in that.
No, I mean I feel like it's just like the like football leagues.
Yeah.
Your top two are the ones who get to go.
Yeah.
So it's, how many races were there at the end? I forget.
Racers?
Yeah, how many teams? 8.
There were 8 racers in the red
So
line.
top 4 from each,
Yeah.
red and yellow.
That would make sense. But I feel like all those racers were also in the yellow line race in some way. Because I know was Machine Head in there?
Sonashi was in it.
Yeah, Sonashi was in it. And then JP was in it, obviously.
Then there was
I can't remember all the racers' names because there was a
Psycho
shitload.
Matt, C Mark D, Captain Two Block.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, like
they were in the those were the top 4. Sonashi, Captain Two Block, C Mark D, and Spark, and Psycho Man and Lawton. Those are top 4. But they were still like 3 other racers, including JP.
yeah. But the basic gist of the story was they were just trying to get through the final race. Mm-hmm. And the final race, like the first race took place on one planet, and then afterwards they were like, okay, the next race is going to take place on Robo World.
Yeah.
But apparently Robo World is like a military planet.
Yeah, which is cyborgs.
Yes,
and
cyborgs.
robots.
And they're like, they don't want anybody going on their planet, but apparently Redline's just like, no, we're going to have a race here at the end.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to have a race here. And so Robo World does whatever they can to keep them from going on there, but apparently it's not enough.
Well, see, the other thing is the whole betting system comes into play.
Yeah, they were
with the
trying to make a
Mafia.
shitload of money.
Yeah, so I mean that's a huge part for JP and Frisbee. For them,
Frisbee's his best friend, since basically his manager.
And mechanic,
Yeah.
because he ends up building the rebuilding
Engine.
Yeah, rebuilding the engine for the Trans Am that
Yeah.
he uses, which I'm like a Trans
A
Am.
Trans Am. Like, everyone else is using these fucking rocket ships, and, like, they can
the crab,
turn into...
the crab Sonashi.
Yeah, the
which is a
crab
fucking
Sonashi.
hover car, so
Yeah.
she can fly and she can shoot fucking all
She
these
can go
cars are
underwater.
most of these cars are battle ready because there are no rules. It's however you make it to the finish line. You make
Only
it
in
to
the
finish
red line. The yellow line had some rules. But red line, they said specifically, has 0 fucking rules.
Yeah.
Because they were going to Robo World. Robo World was not having it.
No, they were military ready
Because they
for
had
this
military secrets, did not want them to go there.
They had a whole goddamn satellite ready to destroy.
I mean,
these
they
guys.
were so scared of, like, a lot of the racers were so scared that the only reason JP got in was because
Two guys
two of
dropped
the other
out.
racers dropped out.
Yeah.
Because they were so scared of dealing with Robo World. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason they came in. And then I did like the way that, like, midway through, it got a little slow, but I enjoyed the parts where they kind of showed a background of each racer. Even though the racers weren't super important, they
Not
showed
all
their
of them.
background and explained, like, the 2 girls who were...
the Super Boeing.
Yeah, Super Boeing. They were basically, I think they said they were
Witches?
actually adult
Princesses?
film stars,
Probably were.
but they could do magic. because
Yeah.
everyone from their planet could do magic, but it was
Especially
all
the
women.
princess.
Yeah, and then the princess was some little girl. Who
Very
had-
integral in the story.
Yes, the princess had
Towards the
super magic, but they agreed to not use magic during this race.
But they could use a shape-shifting car.
Yeah, they could use a car that transformed like.
Yeah.
That was it.
If you guys remember the old Gen 1 Transformers. Yeah.
Because they had at one point they got stuck and they were like fuck it, and
had
then
to
they
fight.
turned into a Megazord, and then and each girl was a titty. That was it. Was just two clear boobs, and they were working together to fight because they were on Robo World, and the entire time they get on there, it's like Robo World sent all their infantry, everything
everything
they
they
had,
could.
at
Everything
every Redline racer to destroy them.
You better be glad. Lynchman and Johnny Boya disabled that satellite weapon before the race.
And what's funny is Redline asked them to do it. They were like, hey, could you go up to that disintegrator ray that Robo World has that could destroy basically fucking anything, including my ship, and just disable it
They're bounty hunters.
for me?
That's what they do.
And they were like,
hey,
okay.
you gonna pay us? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
cool.
Got you.
And it's just like, they all had, wasn't there one other person who had,
Gory Rider was the cop.
yeah.
And he was hell-bent on catching Todoroki and, was it Todoroki and Mickey? Yeah.
Yeah. But it was,
Because there were a couple of little shits.
yeah, they were a bunch of fucking assholes.
And, yeah, when Kevin said that there are a lot of over-the-top guys, Mickey and Todoroki are a couple of those over-the-top guys.
Absolutely. And what's funny is them going like, I don't know if they never really tell the speed, but you can tell like they're going really fucking fast.
Oh, hell yeah.
But they still lift up the hood on their car and yell at each other while driving, shoot at each other while driving.
Friggin' shit talk. Like
Shit talking up.
no
Oh yeah,
tomorrow.
I'll fucking kill you. Yeah. And their jaw gets as wide as their fucking head is tall, and just like talking smack between each other.
I mean, there's
Whatever.
rockets, machine guns going off,
Oh, my
grappling
God.
hooks.
It's
Hovering.
everything.
It's so. I mean, the friggin' nitrous. Their form of nitrous apparently is like a little small pellet that they put into a special containment unit, and then apparently
They
once
close
you-
it and just go.
Yeah, just power. Just
Yeah.
wham.
And then suddenly the car, like, I wanted to know how Sweet JP, when he basically turned himself into a skipping stone across the water,
Bruh.
and his car spun at such a high rate of speed that he could bounce like he skipping stone
Yeah.
across the water. I was like, how is he not dying of? Like maybe it all went into his hair.
G-force.
Yeah, the G-forces.
With the friggin' pompadour.
I don't know what it was, but he was always combing that shit. Combing that pompadour that was as far as his arm could reach out. And is also the only reason he won at the end.
Yeah, it is also true. That friggin' pompadour. So many characters in anime.
There were so many.
Pompadour.
There were so many characters in this. Who was your favorite racer though?
My favorite racer? Man. If I had to.
Because there was a buttload of racers.
There was a buttload of racers. And you know what? It's not easy to just pick one. Because I mean,
No, it's
you,
not.
You stick with JP for the entirety. And I mean, I got to give him. He was not somebody who was going to dumb down his car with weapons.
Yeah, he
He
didn't
wanted
put
to be
any
race
weapons.
specific.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got to give him props for that. Everybody else was being a dick. You know what? JP, for his style and his perseverance to just stay with his mindset. You know?
Yeah.
I'm a race. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm just here to race.
Yeah.
Lynchman, because he was insane. The car looked like a fucking beetle.
Yeah.
When I say beetle, I mean like a actual freaking carapace style freaking car, like an actual.
That was the one who
beetle.
crawled through the dirt, right?
No, that was Todoroki and Miki's car.
Okay.
Lynch. They shot the grappling hook into the
Okay,
wall.
the purple and black one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Henchman
then
and Johnny Boya.
Sonashi's car was like shooting it down.
Crab
to keep
Sonashi,
Yeah,
yep.
Crab Sonashi. I don't know. That was really difficult.
Because you got to keep. There's so many names that they throw out there, like the names of the cars, the name of the racers. Not just the name of the racers, but then if they had a co-pilot, or I guess a somebody else who managed the car.
Yeah.
So JP didn't have one. Sonashi didn't have one, but you had
Machine Head didn't have one.
no. So you had all these single racers, but then you had dual racers.
Yeah, and that was like totally fine.
Yeah, but it's weird. Like why are some?
I feel
cars...
like almost like the reason they had two was just because one was a gunner
Probably.
and the other one was just driving. Like I think it was the same one I was just talking about. Was the one where they didn't even really have a like an actual opening, like a car. They would slide into the side, and it was like almost organic, and just be like, and they'd go in, and they're laying down in the vehicle.
You know the troopers for the Machine World.
Yeah. Oh, I
kinda like
loved that scene.
Yeah,
when they
them
were all
suiting up.
getting into when the Robo World infantry was getting into their machines to fight.
Oh yeah,
That was so fucking cool. The way
was-
that they slide in, it morphs around their body, and then the tubes come in and connect to the back of their head, and then the whole thing comes up. It was like they did it like 10 times for different characters, and it all looked different, and it looked fucking cool as shit.
See, I think with you saying that you would like one of the Gundam variation series, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, and there's different Gundams for each country, and they literally have a huge tournament that spans the entire world, and they fight, and fight, and fight until one becomes victorious, and that country's Gundam, or that country, becomes the legitimate, not ruler of all the countries, but, they're in charge.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
how you do it? You just
Yeah.
fight for who's in charge?
Yeah. Yeah,
Alright.
it was a better alternative than all-out war.
True.
So you have literal countries, like, out in space, but Earth is the main fighting ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be it.
Yeah. So, just throwing it out there. I own the entire series. If you know.
You're just trying to get me to watch more fucking anime. That's
A little bit. Hey, we're doing anime movies. We got to do series. So hey,
How many's in it?
how many episodes? Yeah, about 50-ish.
Eh, God, it's painful.
Well, you know what? It's better than 200, right?
That's very true.
Better than over almost 1,000.
Looking at you.
Bleach.
One Piece.
Bleach in One Piece.
And Bleach.
I love Bleach.
Tone it down. Cut me down to the most important episodes.
You want me to cut it back?
I'm just kidding, don't.
You want me to cut it back by 20%?
No. Cut it down about 20% there. Score today. So, all right. So, that's most of the characters I can think of. What were some parts for you that stood out?
For me, I mean, the entirety of the last race.
It was fucking phenomenal. It was so much fun to
Probably
watch.
the best end to a movie I've seen with action.
Because it was like a 20-30 minute race.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it was like the way that they filmed it, there was just something happening the whole time. Funky Boy coming out.
Yeah, between the racers and the Robo World infantry. When Funky Boy did make his appearance,
Oh.
destruction, then resurgence,
Yeah.
then
that one...
Volton, was it Volton? Volton?
I can't remember his name, but he was like the head of the army, but he like merged with something.
Yeah, another bioweapon of some sort.
Yeah,
It's
he-
Colonel Volton.
Oh, Colonel Volton merged with another bioweapon and basically became a fucking Gojira fight.
Yeah, it was a fucking kaiju fight at the end.
It was ridiculous. I mean, they didn't even say what happened at the end of that fight.
Nope.
It's just they were fighting, and then it cut to the race.
Yep.
And but you know what? I wasn't left wondering
No.
at the end of
no.
it because the way that they ended it, it was like, oh shit, like this is a big fight. And then it cuts to the race, and you're not even thinking about it because the race is going on. And
No,
you're like, oh shit.
because at the end it's literally Machine Head versus Sonashi and JP
Yeah.
in the Trans Am. So it's
Because Sonashi's vehicle gets
Crab's on the
destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah. Crabs on the shit.
Gets destroyed, and he convinces her to ride with him. Like, apparently, a lot of times during this race, a lot of the racers were out of their vehicle and had to get back in.
Friggin' Lynch, man, like, just rolling out that bitch.
Yeah.
And I mean...
There was one point where he was actually running next to his vehicle. Yep. And I was like, how are you going so fast? How are you going so fast?
Gonna go with...
Cybernetics?
Maybe. I mean, he literally looks like a superhero, but him and Johnny Boya are bounty hunters.
Yeah,
but he looks like a superhero.
He does.
Yeah,
he does look like a superhero.
Or an anti-hero. Yeah, anti-hero because of the color scheme. Anti-hero.
But I mean, like I can say like the race at the beginning was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, because you got to see literally they make it so you feel how fast these racers are going. And they're going way faster than freaking NASCAR easily.
Yeah.
Because once again, this is futuristic, and they're doing intergalactic racing.
And I loved when they were following that little kid at the beginning, and he's trying to get his dad to fix the camera.
Like, that camera looked old as shit.
Yeah, but it went on for like 10 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this kid? What's the point of this dad? And it was just for the excitement. Half a second.
For that excitement.
Of the cars passing by that one point.
Yep.
And him trying to get a picture. And I was just like...
stands, man.
And then you never see that kid and the dad again, but it's like, that was so funny. Like, I could understand.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the racers pass by, and it's a group of, like, a couple thousand people, and one leg of the race, and they just go, and that was it. They were there for that one instance. And once they pass by, they stop for a second, and there's...
Quiet. Dead quiet.
Yeah! Like, I don't know. It was the way that they did it.
Because it's realistic.
Yeah.
You know, that's what people at actual races will do. They'll sit there waving their flags, and they'll be close, and as soon as the racers jet through, you just freak the fuck out. That and crashes.
Yeah. I mean, just because I enjoyed this racing doesn't mean I enjoy NASCAR, because no one wants to watch someone turn left for 4 hours.
That's why Formula One is better.
Yeah.
Thank you, curves.
Yeah.
Having to slow down.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to go ahead and take this turn at 100.
300 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then hit the straightaway at about 4. Drop back down to 100.
Guess how many shits I give?
Zips.
Oh, look at it. My hand is empty.
I have tended my field, and there have been no fox.
No fox have been plowed from this field, despite the fact I have planted many seeds.
Oh, no.
But that was, I mean, honestly, it's the first 15 minutes and the last 30 were, like, the best parts of this thing. It was a little slow in the middle. Some of the times it got
the restaurant scene's pretty good. The restaurant scene.
Restaurant scene was very fun.
Yeah.
With the military breaking in and stuff.
Yep. Yep, that was pretty good.
I was trying to think of anything. I mean, I feel like at one point they show Sanashi topless for like, and I'm like, why?
So.
I think they did it just for the
shock value.
Yeah, just for the shock value. That was it.
Oh my god, there's titties.
Her boobs. Her.
For younger viewers, I'm sorry. Not younger listeners.
Viewers use their eyes.
Oh, no, boobs. I guess for the older folks. Oh, you haven't heard of porn?
Oh God. I don't want to get into that shit.
No. That's lies. High schoolers want to get in that shit so hard.
They do so bad. They so badly want to get into it.
Don't do it.
Don't.
You go blind.
It's a problem. My palms are so hairy.
Where are you?
I need more glasses.
Yeah, I think I need to up my prescription by 400%.
Oh my God.
400s.
I was trying to. I mean, but all in all, it was really good. What was your favorite vehicle of all of them?
Favorite vehicle?
I enjoyed that organic one myself. That one that I was talking about that was digging through the ground. Like at one point, 3 vehicles were digging through the ground to get to the other side of the...
It was Gory Riders, which was that square tank-looking thing. And then right behind it was Todoroki and Miki's that looked kind of like an insect. It was like
Yeah, and it
crawling
had the
through it.
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that I thought was the most interesting. Like the other ones all had some sort of transformative property. I feel like Machine Head's just kind of cheated because he was like half machine.
Yeah, because he was a cyborg. I mean, basically.
And when they
made
showed
him-
his past, like his interview, because they were doing it on the TV for each of them.
Yeah.
They showed him at the very beginning when he looked more like a human,
Yeah.
and then each consecutive race he was less and less looking like a human and more. Yeah, until
he
more
was
like his head was a
frickin'
fucking
spark plug.
socket wrench, some shit.
For me, car wise, I think the Trans Am, just because of how simple it was, but after all the reconstruction they did from the first race to Redline, made it into a beast.
Yeah, that's true. Because he didn't have any weapons on his vehicle.
Once
It
again,
was all racing.
skipping stone.
Yeah, and that was the one part that kind of annoyed me about this whole. Well, first that annoyed me. His car spins at such a rate that he basically becomes a skipping stone to go across the water.
Yeah,
And
Whereas
he
Sonoshi had to
doesn't
use
die
hover
from the
car.
G-force.
Yeah, Sonoshi had to use the freaking hover car or hover aspect of her car to do that.
Yeah.
and then Lynchman and Johnny Boya had to use a grappling hook into a stone wall mountain face to get across.
Yeah,
So,
and he just became a skipping stone to get across.
Thank you, Nas.
Okay.
Nitrous.
Yeah, nitrous was enough to make him spin in circles so fast. His car became a skipping stone.
Yeah.
But I guess we gotta fight the world of disbelief or some shit.
Again,
for it.
It's animated.
It's animated.
How much realism are you looking for?
All of it!
No.
No, I'm just kidding. You're right. It doesn't exist.
That's just like me saying, yes, demigorgons are real. We can use Conan's sword to chop them into pieces.
Stranger Things.
Yep. I thought season 4 was supposed to be the last season. Apparently, I was wrong.
No, there's one more.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet, but I've heard a lot of people say that Vecna was like the best villain so far, and they need to. They could have ended it there and been done. It would have been really good.
Yeah, they could have.
So I've been told, but I haven't seen it. Don't tell me anything.
It's okay.
Okay, so like I said, there were two unbelievable parts in it. First was the spinning car,
Okay.
and the other one was they survived breaking the car at the end.
Oh yeah,
We running
we literally
next to it.
because we've already said they're dead.
Yeah. They're absolutely fucking dead. And then they end the movie on them hugging and kissing and going, "I love you, JP."
Yes.
He's like, "I love you, Shaughnessy." And then it just says, "Love." The end. And you're like, the fuck?
Yeah, and there are a plethora of movies that just kind of end so abruptly with, like, what was another one we literally watched where we were just like, why did it end like that? Like, it just stopped. It just
It just stopped. It was Cowboy Bebop that ended abruptly. Because they were just like, blah, 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 haha, click. And it's fucking over. Cowboy Bebop was the one that ended knocking on heaven's door. Was the one that ended abruptly.
Yeah.
Because they were in the spaceship talking, ha ha ha, and then click, that was the end of it. You know, the fuck?
Yeah, I need a resolution.
Yeah, I want a solid resolution. Like, at the end of this, and I was expecting...
Trophy.
Yeah, I was expecting a trophy. What are they going to do afterwards? What's their plans next?
Yeah. Like, I always expect, like, a proper epilogue.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want just, like, give me a couple minutes of epilogue. You know, give me that after credits scene.
I mean, if you're going to give me, like, a prologue, or you're going to give me, like, all right, here's how the movie's going to start, and you start giving me, like, flashes from before the movie takes place. All right, great,
Yeah.
great. But I need a proper epilogue to bring everything that has happened to a proper close.
Yes. Now, granted, I didn't feel like there was any open endings. Like, nothing was left no dangling participles.
because I mean, it literally was JP and Shaughnessy won, but since to me, I would say that JP won. It was his car, and he was the driver. Shaughnessy technically don't get shit. maybe second place at best. Machine Head third.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay, from the flashbacks, Sonishi and JP met before, and that's how that's why he's got this little damn girl, you grew up.
What's up, girl?
Yeah, I mean that's cool and all, but like, what's gonna happen to Robo World since everybody knows exactly what the fuck they've been doing military wise?
Yeah, like is everyone gonna shun military Robo World because they broke the treaty by making a bioweapon?
Yeah, which is
illegal as shit.
Yeah,
is what they said.
Yeah, so
and now it's obviously out there.
Yeah,
that they made a fucking bioweapon.
Yeah. So that, and then
named Funky Boy.
Yeah, Funky Boy. I'm like, really?
But like they also had some really good background with the workers. Like the workers were tired of being mistreated.
Yeah,
and so
they started working with Redline.
They didn't even work with Redline. They were just like, we're gonna inadvertently they were working with Redline, but they were just like
they made things happen.
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna fuck this place up.
Hell yeah.
And so they like broke down the generators.
Yeah,
that powered Robo World, and then they eventually were going to Funky Boy to break him out.
But it wasn't even them.
Yeah, it was the racer.
Yeah, it was. What was it? Gory? Yeah, I think it was Gory Rider.
Yeah, because Gory Rider busted through.
Yep, his freaking car literally busted across the containment unit.
Yeah, and broke out Funky Boy, and then...
Which...
You know what? I think a couple of those racers fucking died, but I don't think they bring it up.
No.
Afterwards.
No, because when Funky Boy resurrects, the first thing he does is, like, shoot fucking energy beams all over the freaking place.
Yeah, and, like, people are going, oh, shit!
Yeah.
And it was a lot of explosions.
Well, I mean, I think near the end, they kind of, like, show everybody, like, near their cars or whatever.
That's
for the
true.
most part.
That's true.
So I'm still like, that was a lot of destruction.
It was a lot of destruction. Like, I feel like the most important thing for Redline to do after that race, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
yeah. Robo World's pissed.
It was like every 4 years they have Redline, so yeah.
Yeah. They need to fucking run.
And they got warp engines.
Yeah, it's alright. It's fine. Because they teleported under the earth.
Yeah,
to get the finish line.
Yeah, to make the finish line. I was like, what? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
We just came out of subspace.
Yeah, and then it was like apparently the princess of, or the queen of
whatever
the magic world,
Super Boeing's planet.
Yeah, she was like, ha ha ha, watch this.
Yeah.
And then she made it appear underground, and you're like, the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what? What?
But okay, but an ultimate rating. For the ending of this movie, honestly, despite the fact that there were a couple loose ends, it didn't really feel like they were super loose ends until I really thought about it afterwards. I would probably give this an 8.5 out of 10. Like, I thought it was really fun to watch. The last race at the end really got me, like, getting excited about it. Like, oh, shit! It's a big-ass race! And there was just, like, all this cool shit happening to each individual racer the whole time. The very beginning race was okay. The art style still kind of creeped me out. I think it was, like I said, because of my heavy metal phobia.
A little bit.
But I give it, like, 8.5 JPs out of 10. Out of 10.
You're gonna go with the JPs?
Out of 10 Shauna shoes.
Oh. He's going for the lover boys. You know what? I can side with that because art style was on point. Story overall on point. Characters were fucking amazing. I mean, when certain ones just took the screen, they owned that shit.
Yeah, and even though it felt so over exaggerated sometimes, but
you need that over exaggeration.
At first,
so
I was
kind of
like,
it.
really?
Yeah, they gotta own it.
But I'm talking about the background people.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I was just saying at the beginning when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is gonna get real fucking annoying real fast. But then it kind of, I got into it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, I see where you're going with
That's
this.
why I like the restaurant scene, because even though the manager is acting as a waiter at the time, it's just the owning of the scene.
Yes.
You have to own it, even if it's a bit part. And they own that shit.
They
so
did.
ridiculously.
They absolutely own that shit. And that was, the voice acting was really, really good.
Yeah. Production value is probably top notch on this, I'd say. So yeah, I'll give it a good solid 8.5. You know, mostly because again that kind of lull in the center of it.
Yeah, the lull in the center, it kind of felt like they slowed down, but I felt like what a good way of, if they didn't have that part where they kept showing Sanashi just cooking and watching the other racers' bios happen on the news.
Yeah, because I mean,
because that's what I felt like picked up that middle part.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to do like a love story between Sanashi and JP in between, where he was trying really hard and she was just kind of like, I don't talk to boys. All my heart's in racing, not in boys. It was picked up, I feel like, just from them showing the background of the racers. And like, I was like, oh, that's really interesting that they're just showing even a little bit of each one of them. Even though they obviously don't fucking matter and obviously they're not going to win.
No. But, it's good when you have such a huge cast to make it accessible so you know all these different characters, even if it's for a small period of time. But it was owning those scenes.
Yeah, they were owning those scenes. The voice acting was top fucking notch. Yeah. For sure. So this is one of the few, I would say, fucking watch it.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun.
You can catch it on Tubi right now.
Is
free.
It on Tubi?
It's on Tubi right now. Free.
Okay.
It's for rent and to buy on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching this one. Redline was pretty fun. Mm-hmm. But our next episode is our 10th episode.
Yeah.
So we figured we'd do what we did at the start, and we're going to go with Studio Ghibli.
Hit a Ghibli.
Now, Jay, which Ghibli are we doing?
We're going to be doing Howl's Moving Castle.
And it's nice that we're going to be doing something that we know...
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
...is not going to be hot fucking garbage.
E-Tranger.
Stop it. Ghost Gun Time, Hunter D.
You let me down, D. You let me down.
You cut me deep, D. You cut me real deep.
Swear, childhood doesn't do it justice.
You know, it's funny editing those old ones and hearing how much we talked it up right before we listened to it, and then we were like, "Fuck, why?"
And there's still going to be somebody out there who's going to be like, "But Vampire Hunter D was so good."
That's fine. You go watch it again and tell me it was real fucking good.
Was it the manga that you're talking about that was good, or were you talking about that first film? Because that first film was not.
Yeah, watch it with no background whatsoever and tell me it was
animation for the second one, I think, saved the second one, but I have to go back and watch the second one.
I haven't even seen the second one. Do we want to watch the second one?
I mean, just to give it another shot at some point.
Should we watch the second one?
From what I remember, it looked pretty good.
Let me ice up my bruises first before we cut into Vampire Hunter D again.
15?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so anything else you want to add about Redline before we finish this thing?
Good movie, good cast, good scenes, good story, great races. Get into it.
I enjoyed it. All right. All you motherfuckers who listen, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Yay! Bye! Bye!
Thanks for listening to the KJ&A podcast. We are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and on Twitter at KJ&A Podcast. You can also reach us directly at our email address, kjnapodcast@gmail.com. And we also have a Patreon where you can find bonus content and opportunities to get in contact with us even more directly than by our email. You guys have a good one, have a good night, and enjoy yourselves. Goodbye.